Good. How you feeling then, Eddie? Second title defence.
I'm excited, to be fair. I've had a good camp. I know everyone says that, but I have really had a good camp. We've got a new strength and conditioning coach on board. We've made a few changes, and yeah, I'm looking forward to putting that hard work into practice now on Saturday night.
Whereabouts are you now? You already down in the bubble? You've been there a long time?
Yeah, we got down here today. What time did we get here? 11:30. So test and straight in. Brilliant.
And what have you picked? What are your reflections on your first title defence when you look back on that now?
Obviously, we're in the middle of a pandemic, so we had to, like, things like sparring partners. I had one male sparring partner, which was Jason. And looking back, there's a lot of things that we did do wrong, but obviously I'd say that's down to the pandemic, and I was involved in a tough fight, and it was a big learning fight for me. But these are the fights you need to take you to that next level, and yeah, it kind of brought us back down to reality. Made us all come together and look at what we need to work on, and yeah.
So the lessons learned, what particularly were they for you?
I'd say obviously one of the main ones is the thing, like, we're getting Danny on board, the strength and conditioning coach. We were kind of doing a lot of stuff old school. I was coming in and just doing my own strength session. Like, I've used this term before, but I was literally winging it, and we're at that level where we can't be doing that now. And we've got that sponsorship money is there, and it's there to be used and invested in to make me a better athlete. So that's what we have done.
Sounds like it was a proper wake-up call for you then.
Yeah. Could say that.
So how do you guard against not repeating that this time then?
Do you know, the fight with Tash was an hard fight, and I kicked myself for days after. And when I actually watch it back, there were things I was doing wrong, but there were things I was doing well as well. So it's just, I just got to remember myself that Rome's not built in a day. I'm not perfect. I'm going to make these mistakes. But for me, the big one was allowing myself to get dragged into that fight. And like, for me, I'm a long range boxer. I box people at range, and just kind of everything just went out the window on the last fight, and I just got dragged into that dog fight, and yeah.
So it's almost like you're world champion, but just because you're world champion doesn't mean to say you're the finished article.
No, still, that was my 11th professional fight. Nowhere near finished. I've still got a lot of learning to do, and I know even on Saturday night there's going to be things that I'm going to kick myself for and wish I'd done better. But you don't know until you get in and have that experience. You can't buy experience.
I suppose you've got to, like you say, after a few days when you realise there were some good things you did, you've got to use those positives Saturday night.
Yeah, so for example, Tasha took me to them deep waters, got chin checked, as you could say, in 8th round, got buzzed. First time I've been buzzed in a fight, and I had to learn how to survive. Like I said, I've been took to them deep waters now, and I know I can do the rounds. Yeah.
So final one from me then. 10 fights ago, you would never have envisaged a Zoom press conference call. It's the enormity of each fight. How are you handling that mentally? The big preparation for each. I mean, every fight you're in now is huge.
The last one really got to me a bit. I think that's just because it was a domestic fight. This one has been chilled, to be fair. I need to keep reminding myself that I'm fighting on weekend, and I need to kind of get that mentality in that zone. But I'm sure that'll come once I'm out the room tomorrow and all the tests come back good. But yeah, I'm dealing with this fight a lot better than the last one. But I think it's just because everything was so unknown last, whereas this I know kind of what to expect and what I'm coming into, really.
Excellent. Good luck, Terry. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick. If we pass over to Fuad from Viper Sport.
Can I just get my charger?
Yeah, of course you can.
Sorry. Yeah, that should be good.
Fuad, did you want to jump in?
So you're right.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Hiya.
You good?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad. Listen, let's get into it. So obviously you got this big fight. I want to talk about the viewership. Obviously, Sky announced that this whole card is going to be on YouTube. Is she gone? Is she there?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So this whole card is going to be on different platforms like YouTube, and people can watch it for free. What's your thoughts on that? And obviously, being involved in that is huge for you.
I think I've only just seen that on social media, but it's good. It's obviously making the platform bigger. A lot more people are able to tune in. More pressure for us, more eyes on us. But yeah, it's good. And I know I'll be buzzing if I was at home and I got the chance to tune in and watch this card.
You said you also put on social media, I think, that Katie probably thinks you're following her. Have you spoke to her? I know she's a massive inspiration of yours. What have you been saying this time around?
No, I've not. We came straight into bubble, so I've not seen anyone yet. Yeah, I'm going to try and just play it cool when I do see her around. But yeah, it's like I said, it's crazy to think now. Again, I'm on undercarder, Katie, my idol, and I'm sure I'll ask her for a little photo.
Of course. And now, finally, last question. Let's stop talking about boxing for a second. I know you love your food. I know it's hard right now for you. You're in camp, cutting weight. I see you watching many YouTube videos. Mutual respect there. But let's talk about food in terms of camp. What foods are you looking forward to the most to have after the fight? What cheap food does Terri Harper have?
So what I've been craving most is a full fat frappe and a millionaire shortbread from Costa. So that's the journey home. But I'm really craving a good Indian garlic naan, rice, curry, everything, chips. That's
a good pick. You know what? You've got my approval of that. That's a very good pick. So we'll make sure you get that after the fight. Anyway, all the best. I'll speak to you after.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
See you in a bit.
See ya.
Pass over to Phil from PA next. Phil, did you want to jump in?
Yeah, hi there, Terry.
Hiya.
I was just wondering. Obviously, Katie's in the weight class above you. Is actually meeting her in the ring something that you still sort of think about? I think that could be still a prospect for the future.
So for me, I was focusing on the fight that I've got coming up. Don't try and get too carried away. I always leave it down to Andrew to tell me who I'm fighting. But yeah, a dream of mine would possibly one day sharing with Katie. Why not? Why not want to fight the best out there? And that's like no disrespect to Katie or anything like that. I just want to be able to share a ring with one of the greatest.
And I just wondered as well, in terms of Natasha, did you sort of come out of that still feeling like there was a score to settle? Would a rematch there be a possibility, do you think? Yeah.
Obviously, I got told that I've been ordered to find my mandatory, and I'm hoping the Natasha rematch can come early next year.
Okay, great. Cheers.
Thanks, Phil. Obviously, we've got Joe from SecondsOut. Joe, did you want to jump in with 2 questions, mate?
Hi, Terry. Hope you're all right. So first question I want to ask you is, where would a win on Saturday night rank compared to your previous 10 wins?
That's a good question. I'd say it's obviously going to be up there. Obviously, it's be my second defence of the title. I don't know, but I do know like when I have the rematch with Tash, and winning that fight, that would top the Eva Wallstrom fight.
Yeah,
I definitely
of
know
course.
that. So I'd say I'll probably come third this one with Thanderz.
Nice. And obviously, like you were saying about the fight with Tash, you've now had 2 fights under sort of the COVID rules and whatnot. How different's this training camp been compared to the last one?
So things were a lot, obviously, a bit more relaxed. Being able to train with like a more different group of people. It's literally not. It's not just me, Andrew, and Jason. So obviously we got Danny, as I said before, strength and conditioning coach. I've been able to travel to Jimmy Harrington's gym, who's been letting us use his big ring. I've had sparring partner Raven coming up and staying with me every week, Tuesday to Thursday. So I've had that top female sparring. Them spars have been competitive, like fight each time. So yeah, it's been a better camp, this one, 100%.
Brilliant. Best of luck Saturday. Hopefully speak to you soon. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. If you pass to Shane Dyer from Boxing Social next, please.
Thank you, Dan. Hey, Terry, you all right?
I am good, thank you.
Good. What do you know of your opponent this weekend, Thanderz?
I found out from Matchroom that she used to be a kickboxer, which I didn't know. So from what I've seen, she's not scared to get stuck in. She's a game fighter. I just don't want to be getting dragged into that fight with her. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting fight.
And just touching on the announcement in the last couple of hours that this fight will be free for anyone to watch, does that add any more pressure on you to get the victory?
No, like I've already got enough pressure on myself, but I'm already putting enough on myself. So, but it's nice to know the platform's bigger and there's a lot more eyes on us. And yeah, I got the chance to showcase my skills to a lot more people.
Nice one. Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shane. If you pass to Ames from Boxing News TV next, please.
Ames here from Boxing News TV. Hi, Terry. You all right?
Hi, yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Good to hear. I just want to know, like, it's been, I believe, over a year now that you've been champion. Can you tell me how you reflect on this last year as a champion and just how life has kind of changed for you in this last year?
Yeah, so I won the title back in February just gone, so just not quite a year yet. But yeah, it's been one thing I've been having to get used to is the people calling me out. Obviously, the territory that comes with being champion. So at first, I used to take it as I used to wonder why these girls are calling me out. But now, yeah, I've learned to realise it's obviously the territory, and people just want to fight the best. Mm-hmm. Not saying that I'm the best, but I'm just saying.
Has that kind of annoyed you a little bit, or does that kind of, unsettle you a bit that people kind of call you out, for that fight? Obviously, they're going to naturally because they want that title and want to rip it from you. But like when you see people calling you out, does that affect you in any sort of way?
No, it's fuel to the fire. Keeps me motivated, keeps me on my toes, and keeps me fetching my A game. And
there's someone in camp who's fought Katharina Thanderz. It's Rachel Ball. Have you spoke to her at all? Got her thoughts on fighting Katharina?
No, I've not spoke to Rachel direct. I probably will do during this week. But then again, I don't want to be overthinking things. But I have stood the fight a few times now with Thanderz and Rachel.
And final question for you. Obviously, I wish you all the best at the weekend. There are fighters who have had COVID tests and they've tested positive. Have you had your results, and were you nervous in getting your results and obviously the potential of the fight being called off?
It's always in the back of your head during training and fight week. You're really avoiding everyone, and or like the run up to this week, I were really avoiding everyone, and hopefully you just don't jinx me. So touch wood. We haven't had results yet, but hopefully all's well. But I know, like back up in our end, up in Doncaster, the cases are quite high, and like I've got a cousin who's been tested positive, but I've not seen them, so I just know it's getting closer, and hopefully test results come back fine.
Hopefully they're doing all the best for the weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Go to Jake from Boxing Scene next, please.
Okay, great. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it. Terry, thank you for doing this. Always a pleasure.
No
You mentioned before, you said, all these opponents calling you out, that it keeps you on your toes. What do you think about Michaela Mayer trying to make this rivalry as big as possible? I know you're focused on Saturday, but it seems like it's been on the fight that's been on the radar for quite a while.
Yeah, I think it's good. It's good, and it's good what she's doing. She's building up that interest. For me, I haven't really been fighting back much to her on social media as I'm focusing on this fight with Thanderz. But yeah, I think obviously the more Mayer runs her mouth, the more interest we get, and the bigger the fight will be when it does happen.
Okay, great. And then I have a very random question to ask you. So my younger daughter, she doesn't follow boxing at all. She's the president of the LGBT community at her college. She knows you very well. So I wanted to ask, what does it mean for you to always, be a champion of that cause? And how much further do you want to see it taken just, within boxing?
So for me, I've always been true to myself, and I won't ever hide who I am. And I just think like I've got a platform where I can show them who are struggling to be true to themselves and be out there and who they are. Even if I just can help one person, that's all that matters to me. And just be out and proud, and don't be ashamed of who you are.
All right, great. Well, you're a very big inspiration to my two daughters, so I appreciate that.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Let's talk this Saturday. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jake. Next, we go to Jonathan from Pro Boxing Fans.
Hey, Terry, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
Good. I just want to touch on sort of where your mindset's at for this fight compared to the Natasha Jonas fight, and what are the key positives you took from what most people thought was one of the fights of Fight Camp?
Last camp I was stressed. I kind of got to a point in last camp where I just wanted it over and done with. I wanted the fight over and done with. I think I was sick of hearing Joe's interviews and all the social media stuff. But this one I really enjoyed. It's been calm, relaxed, chilled. Like I said earlier, I need to remind myself that I'm actually in a fight on Saturday night. But yeah, I've got. At first, I thought the fight were going to have knocked my confidence. But to be fair, it's total opposite. I'm full of confidence for this fight Saturday night. I know I've been took to them deep waters now, so I've just learnt a lot from that fight, and I'm looking forward to Saturday.
Just touching on a question that was just asked about Michaela Mayer. What did you make? Did you watch her last win to win the world title? And if so, would you be willing in the future to travel to the US for that fight?
I've not seen it. It's going to be a fight that I watch, obviously, after I've finished fighting with Thanderz. But yeah, I'd love to go over to the US and fight.
Brilliant. Best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Okay, if we go to J.R. Bell again, please.
Hey there, Terry. Going off of your last fight against Natasha Jonas, like as mentioned, that was like a potential fight of the year candidate. What are you looking to do here against Thanderz to execute more of your boxing skills in this fight, going off of the last fight?
What am I doing, sorry?
Like, how do you feel about executing your overall boxing skill in this fight against Thanderz, going off of your last fight against Natasha Jonas, which was a potential fight of the year candidate?
So like I said, with the Tasha fight, I felt like I got dragged into a brawl, and I was trying to get a lot of inside work done. Whereas for me, that's not my fighting style. My fighting style's obviously the long ranger boxer, using my jab, and that's just something I totally neglected in the last fight. So this fight, I want to get back to using my jab, keeping them long, keeping them at my range, and yeah, not getting dragged into that brawl.
Now, given the attention that the last fight had, how do you feel about, more eyes seeing you, as mentioned, through the various avenues that this fight will be shown?
I really thought about it. I know there's a lot more people out there probably wanting to see me fail, so I probably want to prove all them wrong. I can remember seeing someone online saying that I can't even box. I'm not doing bad for someone who can't box. So yeah, it's just proving everyone wrong, and I think I've got something to prove to myself as well.